It is boys basketball, 93-94. I know the music in the background is extremely loud, but it'll only be during our pregame show. Tonight, the Rutland High Red Raiders under Coach Sid Thompson host the Hartford Hurricanes under Coach Stretch Gillum. Of course, everybody knows Stretch Gillum, MSJ grad, Rutland native Stretch Gillum. His club at 1-2 in league play, the Marble Valley League A division, and the Hurricanes are 3-9 overall. And the Raiders of Coach Sid Thompson, 2-0 in league play, 6-3 overall. It's been about 12 days since Rutland High last played. Rutland High with a very impressive win at Brattleboro 12 days ago or so in a rematch of last year's state championship game, and this time the Raiders came up on the winning end. So we'll see if the Raiders might be a little bit rusty here. I know they practice every day, but we'll see what happens. They haven't had the competition. We saw Hartford a couple of weeks ago against MSJ, and MSJ blew them out. So we'll see what happens in this one tonight. Rutland High and Hartford. Jack Healey on board with Andy Rice, who's back with us. And Drew White with us as well to keep some statistics. And our engineer tonight, as always, Bulldog Blair. Rutland High and Hartford from the Keep Gym. The Raiders warming up off to our right, the Hurricanes off to our left as we look out. The JV game tonight running a little bit long, so we're on the air quite a bit later than we originally anticipated. We had a 7:20 pregame showtime, and we're approaching 7:45. The JV game won by Rutland 76-56. And we'll be back with our pregame show after this 2-minute timeout.
Tonight, the Red Raiders would like to welcome into town the Hartford Hurricanes. Go right to the starting lineup. Starting for Hartford at 4, the 6-foot senior wearing number 44, Jeff Morero. Also starting at 4, 6-foot sophomore wearing number 21, Ryan McCarthy. And starting at center, the 6-foot 7-inch junior wearing number 25, Jeremy Blatcher. Starting at guard, 5-foot 7-inch senior wearing number 14, Jason Golder. And also starting in there, the 6-foot senior wearing number 22, Jeremy Duran. The Hartford Hurricanes are coached by Mr. Robert Uncle Stretch Gillum. And now, get ready for your Rutland Red Raiders. Starting at guard, 6-foot 1-inch senior wearing number 20, Luke Barron. Also starting at guard, 6-foot senior wearing number 32, Jack Sin. Starting at center, 6-foot 4-inch junior wearing number 21, Stu St. Peter. Starting at 4, 6-foot 1-inch senior wearing number 14, Mike Severson. And also starting at 4, 6-foot 1-inch senior wearing number 25, Jim Agnos. Raiders are coached by Mr. Sid Thompson and assisted by Mr. Mark Benazawa. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to all rise and please remove your hats.
I was going to say one difference between this starting lineup for Hartford and the lineup I saw a couple of weeks ago is Batchelder. Batchelder is 6'7", not 6'1", a 6'7" senior. Played a little bit in that game a couple of weeks ago. Gray Sheldon got the starting nod in that earlier game. He's out with an injury. Also, Jason Gardner, who did not play in that earlier game I saw, is out with an injury. And Brent Bliss is out for the Raiders. He has a knee injury. He'll miss tonight and also the game on Thursday. One thing, Andy, we didn't get to tonight in the pregame show, for the Raiders, anybody that's been following the Raiders, extremely deep. One of their strong points for sure is their great depth coming off the bench.
More than likely, we'll probably see everybody play tonight. Like you said, he makes that 5-man substitution. We've seen that a few times this year, and then he'll get into the middle of the game and just sub individually. So.
And we're underway as Hartford controlled the tap for a moment. Barron had it, then had stolen away by Jeff Marino, drove baseline and laid it in. It's 2-0 Hartford. As we're underway here, the Raiders going left to right as we look out. Hartford going right to left as we look out. Jimmy and Agnes has it right sideline. Out to Barrett in the key. On the left wing, it goes to Mike Sievertson. Down low to Anagnos, left baseline. His turnaround is good. Got the roll, and it's 2-2. Just underway. JV game ran late, so we're underway about a half hour later than we anticipated, as the Raiders knocked the ball out of bounds on the inbounds play, and Hartford will try again. And it went off Hartford, apparently, so the Raiders will have the basketball. Mike Sievertson with it, tried to get the ball into play, knocked out of bounds by Batchelder.
Slapped away by a Raider, and it hit the Hartford player standing out of bounds on the floor.
That's what happened, okay. Again, Sievertson puts the ball into play to Anagnos, goes baseline and lays it in, and the Raiders quickly lead it 4-2. After Hartford got the opening bucket, the Raiders have come back to get a couple of buckets from Jimmy and Agnes. 7:18 remaining first quarter. Jason Golder going to work on Luke Barron. In the lane, tried to go up with it, and he came back down with it with Barron. Had his hand on the basketball. It's a jump ball situation, and it will be Rutland's possession. So Rutland will have the basketball in the backcourt. Hartford is setting up some full-court pressure, broken easily as St. Peter has it. On the left now to Jimmy and Agnes. To the left sideline to Sin, and Sin is fouled by Ryan McCarthy. First on McCarthy, and that is the first on Hartford here in the half. So the Raiders will try again from the left sideline in the forecourt. Sievertson getting set to put the ball into play. Gets it in on the bounce to St. Peter. Now to Barron into the lane. Drives. Loses control. It goes out of bounds. And it goes off either Golder or Marino. So the Raiders will try from the baseline now as Sievertson puts the ball into play. Left baseline to Sin. His short jumper's no good. Rebound St. Peter in the lane. Back up and good. Stuart St. Peter puts the Raiders up by a score of 6-2. Jason Golder for Hartford all the way to the key. On the bounce to Batchelor, laid it up, no good, 2 on off the glass. Sievertson came down with a rebound, fouled immediately by Jeff Marino. Foul on Marino is first, and that's the second on the team.
Hartford's not a very patient team. The 2 times they've had the ball after Raiders scores, their point guard, Golder's, brought it right down the court, kind of out of control a little bit, and they turned it over twice.
Full court pressure by Hartford, and Luke Barron lost the ball out of bounds. So Hartford will control from the left sideline in the forecourt. Marino looking to put the ball into play. Raiders in the man-to-man. Marino tried to get it into McCarthy, knocked out of bounds by Sin, so the Hurricanes will try again. 6:44 left first quarter. The Raiders have the early lead by 4, 6-2. Marino looking to put the ball into play, still looking. And we have a 5-second violation against Hartford. The Raiders with that tough man-to-man defense. And Hartford cannot put the ball into play in 5 seconds. Turnover there. And the Raiders now will control the basketball. Sievertson tries to get the ball into play. Knocked out of bounds by Marino. Seems to be the thing so far in the early going. We're less than 2 minutes into the ball game. We've seen both teams have difficulty getting the ball into play. This time the ball comes into Jeff Sin. Picked up in the backcourt by McCarthy. Hartford in the man-to-man. Both teams in the man-to-man. Sin to the lane, all the way back out now to Sievertson. His 18-footer no good. And we got a whistle and a foul on the rebounding action. I believe it's on St. Peter. And the foul on Stuart St. Peter. Did they call it on St. Peter?
They called it on Barron.
They called it on Barron. I'm sorry. On Luke Barron instead is first. First on the team, and we got a steal by Jimmy and Agnes. And Agnes to Barron, now to St. Peter, left wing. Pumps up the bomb, it's no good. Rebound Batchelder. Batchelder throws it into the forecourt for Duran, runs it down left sideline to the left baseline, drives and lays it in. Nice play. Duran had to chase it down at the sideline, went to the baseline and laid it in. 6-4, Raiders by 2, and Agnes double teamed out to Barron. Now on the right side of the circle to Stu St. Peter into the lane, head fakes, pumps it up, around the rim, no good. Tap St. Peter, no good, and the rebound goes out of bounds. And it goes off McCarthy, so the Raiders will control from the baseline. 6:03 left first quarter. Mike Sievertson getting set to put the ball into play. Gets it in left sideline to Sin. Up for 3, bang. 3-pointer for Jeff Sin, and the Raiders lead at 9-4. Full court Raider pressure as McCarthy gets the ball into play to Batchelder. Batchelder sends it ahead now to Jeff Marino, picked up in the backcourt by Sievertson. Now with it is Jason Golder, 5'7" senior, picked up by Barron. Golder sends it to the left baseline to McCarthy. A short jumper swish. 9-6, the Raiders by 3. It's 5:37 left in the first quarter. St. Peter the other way for Rutland High. Join the sideline in the middle, double teamed out front to Sievertson, left sideline to Sin. Up for 3, bang. 2 in a row for Jeff Sin, 2 3-pointers. It's 12-6 Raiders. Full court pressure by the Raiders. They relent as Golder breaks it down the middle to the key to the lane. Wild right-hander around the rim and in, but it won't count. We got a whistle and a foul before the shot. And Mr. Kukuru didn't give a good signal on that. I didn't catch who that was on. We'll wait for it to come up on the board. It's the second on the Raiders here.
That's going to be on Barron again, I believe, because that's the man he's covering is the man that drew the foul.
Inbounds pass, knocked out of bounds by Sin. Hartford will try again. It is on Barron, his second. Again, the second on the team. Pass comes into Golder, right sideline. Now to Marino, backs it up toward the sideline. Marino stops the dribble and goes out to Golder, dribbles right to left, has it out near midcourt, dribbles to the left, and the bounce down low to Duran. Down to McCarthy, baseline jumper in and out, no good, rebound. Stewart St. Peter throws it to midcourt to Anagnos. Anagnos all the way to the right baseline, pumps it up and hits, but it won't count. We got a whistle and a foul going against Hartford, a foul before the shot. The foul is on Jeremy Duran, that's his first, and that is the third on the team. Into the ball game, Brian Pinney for Rutland High. Luke Barron sits down with the 2 fouls. Sievertson will put the ball into play from the baseline. Mike Sievertson gets it in right side to St. Peter, and he's traveling. So Hartford goes on hoop in the backcourt. Both teams are the man-to-man, and both teams using full court pressure. The Raiders use the full court man-to-man pressure as they set up that pressure right now. Batchelor goes to Jeff Marino, picked up by Sievertson in the backcourt. Marino into the forecourt now on Sievertson. Marino between the sideline and the middle. Scoops it off now for Ryan McCarthy out near right sideline area. Picked up by Sin, out of Golder. Out near midcourt, dribbles to the key to the line of the lane. Running right-hander, no go. We got a foul against the Raiders, and Golder should be at the line for 2. He was in the act of shooting. Foul is on Brian Pinney. That's his first, third on the team. And Jason Golder, 5'7" senior, at the line for 2 for Hartford. The Raiders lead at 12-6. 4:36 left, first quarter.
This guy here at the line, like you said, he's the reason the Raiders have 3 fouls right now. He's taken the ball strong to the hole 3 times, and all 3 times he's been fouled. Twice by Luke Barron, and then Brian Pinney came in to cover him for Luke, sitting down with 2 fouls. And
got the first, missed the second. McCarthy back up in the baseline, no good. Pinney the rebound. It's 12-7, the Raiders by 5. Sin on the bounce, left baseline to Anagnos, drives and lays it in. It's going to count. He got fouled. Jimmy Anagnos, an opportunity for a 3-point play. And the foul going against the 6'7" senior Jeremy Batchelder. And that is the 5th on the team. That is the first on Batchelder. So Jimmy Anagnos with an opportunity for the 3-point play here as he's at the line for 1. 14-7. The Raiders have a 7-point lead. Shot by Jimmy is no good, and the rebound chased down in the corner by Ryan McCarthy. McCarthy dribbles up on Jeff Sin. McCarthy gets it into the forecourt. McCarthy between the sideline and the middle, has it toward the right sideline, stops the dribble, wanted to go to Marino, by him right to Duran, 15-footer, no good, rebound to Pinney. Pinney down court to Anagnos. Anagnos now to Sin at the left baseline. Sin spins, scoops it up, no good. He was fouled by Batchelder. Jeff Sin will be at the line for 2, and that's 2 quick fouls on the 6'7" Batchelder. And that is 5 on Hartford here in the half as Nathan Eisner checks in for Hartford. Eisner, a 6-foot junior. Batchelder sits down, so that's a 6-foot guy going in there for a 6'7" guy who sits down with the 2 fouls, Jeremy Batchelder. Jeff Sin at the line for 2. He hits the first. He'll get another. 15-7, the Raiders by 8.
Getting back to the one thing I was mentioning, the point guard for Hartford likes to force the ball a lot, and he's the reason the Raiders have 3 team fouls and 3 personal fouls right now.
Sin hits the second. He gets both free throws. The Raiders lead at 16-7. Full court pressure. Eisner with it. Eisner is still in the backcourt. On the bounce goes to Golder. Golder to the lane. Dumps it off for Duran. His shot for the baseline deflected out of bounds by Stu St. Peter. Nice play by Stewart St. Peter. Redirected that one out of bounds, and Hartford will try from the baseline. Or are they going to call a foul? Yeah, they are.
Wow. Looks like a clean block.
So the foul is on as St. Peter. That's his first, and that is the 4th on the team, so Duran will be at the line for 2. Jeremy Duran for Hartford, a 6-foot senior, a left-hander, fires and hits. He'll get another. Raiders lead at 16-8 now, an 8-point lead. The reason I thought it was a clean block originally was because I think one of the officials wanted to take it out of bounds. It was the other one that called the foul there. Second shot by Duran is good. Jeremy Duran, 2 free throws for Hartford. Raiders lead at 16-9, 3:52 left in the first quarter. Into the forecourt, Brian Finney, picked up by Golder, and Golder knocks the ball away, saves it at the sideline. Nice play to Ryan McCarthy. Golder gets it back again. Golder down the middle. To the key to the lane, backs it on Finney, spins, and we got a foul on Golder, an offensive foul. That's the first on Golder, and that is the 6th on the team. Get the feeling Jerry Kukuru is going to be involved a lot tonight.
He's already hearing some grief from the Hartford side for that call. But I think that was a good call. He's forced the ball twice. The play before, I thought he fouled the man when he penetrated.
Jeff Sin breaks the Hartford pressure to Anagnos to Penny. Penny wanted to go to St. Peter. The ball kicked out of bounds by Jeff Marino. Raiders had the numbers there. It was 2-on-1. Marino was back, made a nice defensive play. Sievertson puts the ball into play now to Brian Penny. When the sideline in the middle out front, left sideline to St. Peter. Down low to Sievertson in the lane. His turnaround, no good off the back of the rim. Rebound to Sin from the baseline. Back up and good. Had the opening of the baseline and laid it in, and Hartford throws the ball away as the Raiders lead at 18-9, and Ben Anderson, Mark Barassa, also in there, John Barker and Kyle Berquist in for Rutland High. The only one that stays in is Brian Penny. The Raiders have the basketball. Barassa gets it in now to John Barker, a 6'1 junior, right sideline. Barker sends it out front to Berquist, top of the circle, pick up by Eisner off the man-to-man. Now to Penny, down low to Barker, fade away, right side of the lane is short, no good, and the rebound goes to Marino. Marino for Hartford into the forecourt. Marino to the key to the line, fires up, no good. Off the side of the rim, rebound 5-4, and Barassa comes down with it for the Raiders. On the bounce to Barker. Barker sends it ahead to Barassa. Barassa to Berquist now, left sideline in the forecourt. The bounce out front to Penny. 2:44 left in the first quarter. Raiders lead at 18-9. Barassa left wing to Penny, lines up the three. It's no good off the rim. Rebound off McCarthy. It goes out of bounds. The Raiders will control from the baseline.
This Hartford team's awful scrappy. Their record might not show in the league. They're 1-2 right now, but they're a very scrappy team. They're causing the Raiders some problems with their aggressive style man-to-man defense.
Barassa getting set to put the ball in the play, gets it into Anderson. His turnaround is no good. It tapped around. It comes down to McCarthy. McCarthy to Golder. Golder down the middle for Hartford. And his pass picked off by Penny, restolen by McCarthy. McCarthy to the right side of the lane, scoops it up and hits off the glass. 18-11, the Raiders lead it by 7. Some full-court Hartford pressure for a moment. They relent now as Golder will pick up Penny as Penny dribbles into the forecourt. Penny to the left side of the lane on the bounce to the right baseline. And Barker lays it up left-handed, no good. Rebound tapped around, and it comes out to Eisner to Golder. Golder down the middle, into the lane, scoops it up, no good. We got a foul against Rutland High, and Golder will be at the line for 2.
It's going to be Penny's second.
It is on Brian Penny, number 2, and that is number 5 on the team. Both teams have 5 team fouls. Let's see. No, Hartford with 6, so the next Hartford foul will send the Raiders to the line, and Raiders have 1 to give as Golder's at the line for 2 for the Hurricanes. His shot is good. He'll get another. Hartford hanging around. The Raiders lead at 18-12.
This Golder guy's causing the Raider point men some problems.
Second shot by Golder is good. Jason Golder gets them both. It's 18-13. Raiders lead it by 5. Got a steal by Marino. Marino now to McCarthy. McCarthy lays it up and in. All of a sudden, the Raiders' lead has been sliced to 3. The Raiders lead at 18-15. That starting 5 is going to be back in here in a moment for Rutland High as they're all at the scorer's table now. Penny with it halfway between the circles. Now on the right to Barassa. Back out to Penny, top of the circle. Up for 3. It's no good. Rebound from Berquist to Barassa. And Barassa then is tied up by Eisner, and we got a foul on Eisner. I believe it is on Nathan Eisner, his first. Hartford over the limit as Anagnos, Sin, Sievertson, Barron, and St. Peter check in for Anderson, Barker, Berquist, Barassa, and also Penny. That should be a 1-and-1, yeah.
Whoever, Barassa should be at the line.
Somebody should be going to the line for Rutland High. Is that they had set up Rutland High at the baseline, but that puts the team over the limit. Yeah, Barassa, who just checked out, has to come back in. So he has to check in for somebody.
Anagnos, I believe, that's who he's swapping for. Hopefully he'll make the 2.
Yeah, it is. He comes in for Anagnos. Barossa has to take the free throws and then check out. He'll be at the line for a 1-and-1 as Hartford's over the limit. Minute 34 left in the first quarter. The shot by Barossa is no good. And the rebound of Jeremy Duran to Golder. Barossa will check out on the next stoppage in play here. Jimmy and Agnes will check in. McCarthy with it left corner for the Hartford Hurricanes. The Raiders lead it by 3. Down low to Duran, left baseline. His jumper is good. It's 18-17. Raiders lead has been sliced to 1. Full court pressure for Hartford. Sin down court to Barron. Beats the pack and lays it up. No good. Rebound St. Peter. Back up and good. Stu St. Peter with the offensive rebound for the bucket, and the Raiders lead at 20-17. 1 minute left in the first quarter. Molino into the forecourt for Hartford. Right sideline to Ryan McCarthy. Picked up by Sin. McCarthy to the right baseline. Pumps up the jumper and hits. 20-19. The Raiders by 1. Again, that full court pressure for the Hurricanes. Barossa to Barron. Now, Hartford really relents on the full court pressure. It's not diligent pressure. Here's Sievertson for 3. It's no good. Rebound Barossa left baseline. It goes over the bucket. Rebound Sievertson back up and good. The Raiders controlling the offensive boards here, at least the last couple of times down the floor. St. Peter with an offensive rebound for the bucket and another one there. As the shot from the right baseline by McCarthy is no good. Barossa the rebound. 22-19 Raiders. With it now Barron. He drives and lays it in. And the Raiders go back up by 5 again, 24-19. 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Full court Raider pressure as Eisner gets it into Jason Golder. Golder slowly up court. Both teams show that pressure early and then relent. Golder to the free throw line, fires and drills it. 1 second left in the quarter, and that's the end of the quarter. 24-21, Rutland after a quarter. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. A quick 9-point lead. Hartford battled back. The Raiders now have a 3-point lead after a quarter. Rutland 24, Hartford 21. High scoring first quarter.
It certainly was. You know, when the game first started, I expected Hartford to get into a little bit of trouble because they were forcing everything. They're bringing the ball right down the court. And early off, they did get into a little bit of trouble. But since then, they haven't missed a shot. You know, they're really on fire right now, and that's the concern, I think, for Coach Thompson. They've got to get their hands up in the faces when they take the first shots and just box out because they're not giving up the second chances because they're making the shots.
Hartford's possession, McCarthy for 3 off the rim, and then it hit the guy wire up above the backboard, so it's out of bounds off the Hurricanes, and the Raiders will control in the backcourt. Randy St. Peter checked in for Hartford at the end of the quarter for Jeremy Duran. Long pass, Sievertson down court to Sin, and Sin lays it in. Great play. What a pass by Sievertson, 26-21, the Raiders by 5 early going second quarter. Ryan McCarthy with it halfway between the circles. Goes to Marino left baseline. A short jumper is no good. Rebound Barron. Barron throws it into the forecourt for Sin. Left sideline. Up top to Anagnos. Now to Stu St. Peter. Lays it up over the bucket. No good. Back up. No good. And the rebound goes out of bounds, and it goes off St. Peter. We got to make this clear. Stuart St. Peter for Rutland in there right now. Randy St. Peter in there right now for Hartford as McCarthy throws it down court intended for Marino. And we got a foul as it was knocked out of bounds by Sievertson. And we do have a foul on Mike Sievertson. That's the 6th-team foul on the Raiders. That foul on Mike Sievertson is his first. So Hartford will control from the baseline. And from here on in, both teams will be going to the line. 26-21, the Raiders with a 5-point lead early going second quarter. Pass comes into Eisner. He goes along the baseline. Tried to come out to McCarthy, knocked out of bounds by the Raiders. So Hartford will try again from the right sideline of the forecourt. Jeff Marino looking to throw the ball into play. Marino gets it into McCarthy, knocked away by Stu St. Peter to Sievertson, down court to Sin, left sideline, pulls it up. Now to Anagnos, 15-footer, bang. 28-21, a 7-point Raider lead. Both teams with the token man-to-man full-court pressure. With it is Jason Golder for Hartford, down the middle to the lane, drives, lays it up, no good, rebound, controlled by Sievertson. Outlet to Sin. Sin into the forecourt, throws it for Barron. Barron into the lane, short jumper off the glass, no good. Rebound Eisner. Eisner goes to Jason Golder. Jason Golder, Ryan McCarthy, Nathan Eisner in there right now along with Jeff Marino and Randy St. Peter. With it is Marino right sideline for the Hurricanes. Out to Eisner, halfway between the circles. On the left to Ryan McCarthy. McCarthy dribbles toward the top of the circle to the key, pumps up the 17-footer and drills it. Rutland 28, Hartford 23, 6:27 left in the half. Stu St. Peter, Mike Severson, Luke Barron, Jimmy and Agnes, and Jeff Sin for Rutland High. Barron right side of the circle. On the right to St. Peter. 17-footers good. Stu St. Peter there for the Raiders. 30-23. The Raiders lead it by 7. Sean Patko getting set to check in for the Hurricanes. Golder goes right sideline to Jeff Marino. Marino picked up by Mike Severson off the man-to-man. Marino to the right side of the lane, pulls up with a jumper and hits. 30-25, Raiders by 5. Quick pass down court to Stu St. Peter. Drives, lays it up, no good. The running right-hander. But we're going to whistle on a foul against Hartford. And the foul is going to be on Nathan Eisner, his second. Team over the limits. Stu St. Peter will be at the line for 2. Now for Sean Patko checks in. Also Jeremy Duran checking in. Golder's out, Eisner's out, Marino's out. And Jesse Kells also checking in for the Hartford Hurricanes. Stuart St. Peter at the line for 2 for Rutland High.
Like I was mentioning when we were coming back after the quarter, Hartford hasn't missed too many buckets. McCarthy right now is on fire. He's got 10 points for him here in the first half. And then Marino, he's only got 4 points. He was the guy that you mentioned was 7th in the league in scoring for the Hurricanes. So
Stu St. Peter missed the first, hit the second as he comes out of the ball game, and Ben Anderson checks in for Rutland High, and the Raiders have a 6-point lead, 31-25 with 5:48 left in the half. As Sin picks up Kells in the backcourt. Jesse Kells is a 5'9 junior, gets it into the forecourt left sideline. Kells to the left corner to Ryan McCarthy. McCarthy dribbles toward the middle to the lane. His one-hander's good. 31-27, Rutland by 4. Sin throws it in the forecourt for Anderson. Penny also checked in. He's got the basketball. Down low to Anagnos in the lane. His turnaround is good. Penny checked in for Luke Barron. 33-27, a 6-point Raider lead. Kells into the forecourt for Hartford. Both teams in the man-to-man. Pass intended for Randy St. Peter, knocked away by Ben Anderson. Penny tried to save it at the sideline, but it went out of bounds off the Raiders. Hartford will control as McCarthy is out and Jeff Marino back in for the Hartford Hurricanes. And Marino will put the ball into play from the left sideline. Jeff Marino looking around, gets it into play to Jesse Kells. Kells dribbles to the left side of the circle, dumps it off now for Marino between the sideline and the key. Picked up by Severson. Spins to the lane, back out now to Golder. On the right to Kells in the lane. His jumper's no good. Rebound to Jimmy and Agnes. And he dribbles out and rifles it down court for Severson, and he lays it in. Nice play. Great pass from Agnes. And the Raiders lead it by 8. Rutland 35, Hartford 27. 4:40 left first half. Kells with it for Hartford halfway between the circles. To the right wing, he goes to Jeff Marino, picked up by Severson. Marino dribbles around, brings it toward the middle to the key to the lane, dumps it off for Kells, 17-footer, no good, rebound Penny. Brian Penny, Ben Anderson, Jeff Sin, Jimmy and Agnes, and Mike Severson for the Raiders right now. Sin into the lane, dumps it off for Agnes, and he lays it in as he went baseline. And the Raiders have opened up their biggest lead of the ball game now. They lead at 37-27. The other way, Golder to the lane, wanted to go to Duran, stolen by Anagnos, rifles it up to midcourt to Sin. Sin on the bounce to Penny. Penny drives, lays it up, no good. We get an offensive foul on Brian Penny.
He is third, I believe.
It is 3 on Penny. Both teams over the limit. Luke Barron will check in for Brian Penny, and also Ryan McCarthy comes back in for Hartford. And McCarthy checks in. Let's see who'll be going out. Randy St. Peter coming out for Hartford.
McCarthy's got the hot hand. He's got 12 points for Hartford, so they haven't scored a point since he went down at that last break he had.
Here's McCarthy to the lane. 14-footer's good. So he comes right back and gets the instant offense. Ryan McCarthy, 6-foot sophomore. He's only a sophomore. 37-29. The Raiders by 8. Barron the other way. Underneath, he wanted to go to Severson. The ball knocked out of bounds by, I believe, Marino. It'll be Raiders basketball from the baseline. Boy, this is a helter-skelter ball game. They're just firing it up. Run and gun basketball. Jimmy and Agnes with it right sideline. Out to Luke Barron right way. Luke dribbles toward the sideline and stops on a bounce down low to Agnes. His turnaround is good. I don't think Jimmy and Agnes has missed too many, if any, in this ball game tonight.
He's got 14. He's leading all scorers right now.
39-29, a 10-point Raider lead. 3:30 left here in the first half. Kells with it for Hartford right sideline. Kells on the cut now to Golder. Wild right-hander, no good. Rebound Marino. He lost it out of bounds. But apparently it went off Severson, who was lying down across the baseline. and it went off him out of bounds. So Hartford will control from the baseline. Ryan McCarthy getting set to put the ball into play for Hartford. And he loops it all the way out front for Kells. Kells, top of the circle. His three-point attempt is no good. Off Durant on the rebound. Back to Kells. Short jumper, no good. Rebound, Ben Anderson. And Anderson is fouled by Jeff Marino. And Ben will be at the line for a 1-and-1. Marino's fouled his first. 3:12 left, first half. Rutland 39, Hartford 29. As Rashawn Patko checks back in for Hartford for Kells.
Got a correction. I mentioned that Nagnus was leading all scores with 14. McCarthy for Hartford's matching him right now, so both of them at 14 points.
Wow, shoot 'em up basketball.
It certainly is. We've got 3 minutes left here in the second quarter, and we're almost to the final of the Rutland MSJ game, the last one we did.
That's right. Ben Anderson's shot is no good off the back of the rim. Marino the rebound to Golder. Golder into the forecourt. Picked up by Barron off the man-to-man. Golder dribbles left to right. Stops the dribble right side of the circle. The right sideline goes to Patko. Sean Patko for the Hartford Hurricanes, a 5'8 junior. Sends it out front to McCarthy. McCarthy to the key to the line. Spins around. Back out to Patko near the right sideline. Controlling off the dribble. Stops the dribble. Back out to McCarthy. McCarthy halfway between the circles. McCarthy back to Patko. On the right sideline toward the baseline. Back out to McCarthy. Top of the circle. Throws up the bomb. It's short. Rebound Anderson. Outlet to Sin. Sin on the bounce now to Anagnos. Drives baseline and lays it in. So Jimmy Anagnos has got 16. He leads all scorers now. And the Raiders have opened up a 12-point lead. They lead at 41-29. Jason Golder into the forecourt on Luke Barron. To the right side of the lane. His jumper's no good. Rebound to Luke Barron. Throws it quickly for Siebertson. Siebertson to Anderson. Same motion, he lays it in. Great play by Ben Anderson. And Siebertson with a lot of assists in this game tonight. Great pass to Anderson. And Hartford loses the ball out of bounds. Marino lost control of the dribble. It went out of bounds. It's 43-29. The Raiders have opened up a 14-point lead with 2:02 left in the half. And we have a Hartford timeout. Stretch Gillum wants the timeout. It's the Raiders by 14. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout.
More information. Vermont National Bank. Member FDIC.
Jack Healey back with Andy Rice. Drew White at the keep, Jim. It's Rutland 43, Hartford 29. The Raiders led by 3 after a quarter. 24-21. This lead that they have right now, their biggest in the ball game.
The Raiders kind of running the ball a little bit, forcing things, and they're playing Hartford-style basketball right now. And it's kind of unusual. We're used to seeing them set up, work their offense, get a good shot, usually down in the low post, nice, easy, high percentage layup, something like that. But right now, they're just fast breaking it. They look like they're running rebels out there, throwing the ball up and down the court.
Pass from Anagnos to Barron. He's by himself. He lays it in. Right off the inbounds play from the sideline. 45-29. The Raiders have a 16-point lead. The Raiders have gone into the 2-3 zone now. As Golder goes to McCarthy to the right baseline, forces the shot, no good. Rebound, Berquist, outlet to Barron. Down court to Sin. Here they come again. Sin lays it up, no good. He was fouled. Rashawn Patko on the foul for Hartford. And that's the first on Patko. The Raiders going with Luke Barron, Ben Anderson, Jeff Sin, Jimmy Anagnos, and Kyle Berquist. Sin at the line for 2. With a minute 42 left in the first half. The Raiders have a 16-point lead, 45-29, as Mark Barassa is set to check in.
We haven't seen Batchelder since he went out in the first period. Right now, the Raiders have a serious height advantage.
Well, just hey, boy, I'll tell you, you're a psychic. Barassa came in for Jimmy Anagnos. As Sin missed the first, he'll get another. Batchelder's in for Prashan Patko.
With Anderson,
Batchelder's the 6'7" guy.
With Anderson and Berquist in there, the Raiders definitely had a height advantage working for him.
Sin misses the second, and Batchelder loses the basketball out of bounds. Batchelder. So it'll be Raiders basketball from the baseline. Barassa getting set to put the ball into play on the bounce right sideline to Luke Barron. He wanted to go to Berquist by him, picked off by Marino, tosses it in the forecourt. McCarthy chases it down, plays it up, no good. But we have a goaltending call on Ben Anderson. Ben got up there on the back of the rim and just swept it off the rim. So goaltending called against Anderson. Give the bucket to McCarthy. 45-31 Raiders. Long pass into the forecourt, knocked away, but it goes to Barron. On the left to Ben Anderson. Ben Anderson to Berquist, and Berquist is fouled by Batchelder. And quickly, Batchelder now has 3 personal fouls. He just checked in. He had 2 quickly, was on the bench for a long time, back in now. and that's his third personal foul. Kyle Berquist will be at the line. Is getting set to check in now as a 5'7" sophomore. They lose a foot in this exchange. 5'7" sophomore Ryan Moriarty checking in for Jeremy Batchelder. The 6'7" senior John Barker checking in for Rutland High, and checking out is Jeff Sin. Minute 28 left in the half. 45-31. Rutland with the lead.
Coach Gillum obviously is saving his big man for the second half here with only a minute and a half left to play here in the second quarter.
Berquist at the line for a 1-on-1. Misses the shot. The rebound to Ryan Moriarty, who just checked in. Moriarty into the forecourt down the middle against the 2-3 Raiders zone. They started off in the man-to-man. They're in the zone now. Golder to the left corner to Ryan McCarthy. Picked up by Barras off the zone. Back out front to Moriarty. Moriarty halfway between the circles now to Golder, right sideline. Now to Marino, back to Golder between the sideline and the key right side. 1:04 left in the half. The Raiders lead at 45-31. Moriarty to McCarthy, up for three, no good. Rebound, Kyle Berquist. Outlet to Barker to Barron. Barron, Barker, Berquist, Anderson, and Barassa right now for Rutland High. 50 seconds left in the half. With it now, John Barker. Picked up by Marino off the man-to-man to the left baseline to Anderson. His turnaround no good. Barassa the rebound, back up and good. Everybody getting into the act for Rutland High. Raiders up by 16. It's Rutland 47, Hartford 31. 32 seconds left in the first half. With it is Jason Golder against the zone. Left sideline to Ryan Moriarty. Now to Ryan McCarthy, left corner. Back out to Golder, left wing. Golder dribbles once, then sends it down low to Duran. His turnaround is no good. Rebound goes now to McCarthy. McCarthy back out to Moriarty. Back inside to Marino. His turnaround in the lane is good. 47-33 Raiders. 5 seconds left in the half. Barron quickly to the forecourt. To the top of the circle. Fires up. It's in and out. No good as time expires. Ending the first half. High-scoring first half indeed here at the Keefe Gym, especially for Rutland High, as the Raiders have opened up a 14-point lead at halftime. At halftime, our score, Rutland High 47, Hartford 33. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout.
Like we mentioned, Marino is one of the leading scorers in the league, but he's not doing much tonight. And for Hartford, if it wasn't for McCarthy, this game would be way out of hand. It's only a 14-point game right now, but you know, I think he's got to be pleased. They're playing good ball, like you said, and he can't ask for much more. Good defense and offense, everybody.
It's Rutland's basketball here at the beginning of the second half. The Raiders going right to left, Hartford left to right, and underneath the pass comes from Anagnos to Stu St. Peter, and he lays it in. And the Raiders take a 16-point lead, 49-33, going coast to coast, laying it up no good as Marino, and Marino gets the rebound back again underneath and dribbles back out toward the right sideline. Dribbles to the middle. Now goes on the left to Eisner. Left baseline. Eisner ducks underneath. Lays it up. No go. Rebound to Anagnos. Outlet to Luke Barron. We'll set the alignment for both teams when we have an opportunity. Luke Barron sends it to the right sideline to Sievertson. Sievertson toward the corner, controlling off the dribble. Sievertson looking inside. Loops it, intended for St. Peter, picked off by Eisner. Nathan Eisner in there, Jeremy Duran, Jason Golder, Ryan McCarthy, and also in there right now is Jeff Marino for the Hartford Hurricanes. As McCarthy on the cut goes to Duran, left baseline. His fadeaway no good. McCarthy the rebound up and good. Rutland 49, Hartford 35, 7 minutes left third quarter. Jimmy Anagnos, Stuart St. Peter, Mike Sievertson, Luke Barron, and Jeff Sin for Rutland High. With it is Barron right sideline on the bounce to Anagnos, and he turns, fires up, and hits. Just went right toward the bucket and nailed it. I don't think he's missed any tonight. 51-35, Rutland, and a block shot by Barron as Golder tried to go up with it. Finally, it came back to Marino, and Marino lays it in. Barron just swiped that away toward the sideline. Long pass to Sievertson. He drives baseline, lays it up, and in. Is it going to count? We get a whistle. 51-37 Rutland. The basket did go in. The basket is going to count, and we get a foul. 53-37 Raiders. Mike Sievertson opportunity for a three-point play. And who did they call that foul on? Jeremy Duran. We didn't get a chance to run down the fouls at halftime, but
first team.
Golder's got one, Duran's got two for Eisner, 3 for Batchelder as the shot misses by Sievertson. Rebound to McCarthy. McCarthy down the middle now. McCarthy to the right baseline, forces the jumper, no good. And we get a foul on the rebounding action on Jimmy and Agnes. Again, as Andy mentioned, that foul before Hartford's first, that's the first on the Raiders there. And the foul on Jimmy and Agnes is his first. I don't think we keep shooting percentages, do we?
We don't.
But I don't think Jimmy and Agnes has missed any.
He missed a free throw.
Okay, any from the field.
No, I don't think he has either. I agree with you.
Marino throws the ball for Golder, and Golder goes into the backcourt to run it down and brings it back into the forecourt, back to Marino. Marino, left side of the circle, pumps up the shot. It's no good. Rebound is to St. Peter. St. Peter ahead to Barron. Here they come again on the bounce. Wanted to go to Sievertson behind him and out of bounds. And it'll be Hartford's basketball in the backcourt. Again, the foul situation. Golder 1 for Hartford. McCarthy 1. Duran's got 2 now. Eisner's got 2. Rashawn Packel's got 1. Batchelder's got 3. Here's the pass into Marino in the forecourt. Dumps it off for Duran and drives baseline and lays it in. Rutland 53 and Hartford 39. 5:53 remaining third quarter. As with it is Sievertson for Rutland High to the left baseline. Sievertson out to Jeff Sin. On the right now to Luke Barron. Picked up by Golder on the cut to St. Peter. 12-footer in the lane, no go. Rebound back to St. Peter. Back up and good from the right baseline. 55-39. The Raiders by 16. Long pass down court to Duran. Short baseline jumpers. An air ball. Maybe Barron got a piece of it. Came down to St. Peter. Back to Barron. He wanted to go. Almost picked off by Eisner. Barron's got it. Goes to St. Peter. Ahead now to Sievertson. Dribbles toward the middle. And he goes to an Agnes who lays it up, no good for the baseline, but he was fouled. Jimmy and Agnes will be at the line for 2. And the foul is on Jeff Marino of Hartford, and that is the second on the team. And that foul on Marino's number 3. So Marino had 3 before. Durand is out. Into the ball game now is Dave Myers for Hartford. The Rutland foul situation, Barron 2, Sievertson 1, and Agnes 1, St. Peter 1, Penny with 3. And Jimmy and Agnes hits the first, will get another. 56-39, the Raiders with the lead, 5:17 remaining third quarter. Second shot by Jimmy and Agnes is good, gets them both, and the Raiders go up by 18. Rutland 57, Hartford 39. Some full court pressure as Sievertson steals, saves it to Barron, then he lost the handle, and Golder picks it off for Hartford. Jason Golder into the forecourt, down the middle, all the way to the lane, drives the lane and lays it in. Lane just kind of split apart for him, and he laid it in easily. 57-41, the Raiders with a 16-point lead. Sin going to work on Myers, throws it into the forecourt for Barron. Barron on the bounce to St. Peter, drives baseline, lays it up, no good. Rebound tapped around, back to Barron at the free throw line. Barron to Agnes, chases it down left side of the lane. Cross court to Sievertson, 15-footer bang. Rutland 59, Hartford 41, 4:38 left in the third quarter. Full court token pressure by the Raiders as Barron picks up Golder in the backcourt. Golder in there with Myers, McCarthy. Also in there is Eisner. And Marino for the Hartford Hurricanes. Point sideline, it is Dave Myers with it. Myers picked up by St. Peter. And we've got a traveling violation on Dave Myers. As into the ball game back in, Jeremy Duran for Hartford. Marino is out. Brian Pinney in for Rutland High, and Luke Barron is out. Sievertson getting set to put the ball into play in the backcourt for Rutland High. And we got a 5-second violation on Sievertson. So now Hartford will try to put the ball into play in the forecourt. Mark Barassa checks in for Rutland High for Mike Sievertson. Myers now looking to put the ball into play for the Hartford Hurricanes. Loops it into the backcourt intended for Golder, knocked away by Pinney. But Golder gets it back again. And Golder brings it back into the forecourt for the Hurricanes to the key to the line. The cut to Durant, turnaround in the lane is good. Rutland High 59, Hartford 43. 3:57 left third quarter here at the Keefe Gym. Raiders a machine tonight, and Agnes down low to Pinney. His turnaround for the baseline is good. Rutland 61, Hartford 43. And we have a foul against Hartford as they brought it back up the floor. Might be on Golder. It is on Jason Golder, his second, third on the team.
They got him for pushing off there. He didn't, that full court defense, Pinney was working him pretty good coming up that side, and he pushed off, and the official was right there to call it.
Barassa getting set to put the ball into play from the sideline. Gets it in on the bounce. Wanted to go to Sin, and Eisner picks it off. Now with it is Ryan McCarthy here for the Hurricanes. To the free throw line, pumps up the shot. It's short. Rebound goes to Barassa. Outlet to St. Peter. Rifles it for Penny. Knocked away by Golder. And finally it went out of bounds off Penny. And Hartford will control in the backcourt as Jeff Marino and Jesse Kells check in for the Hurricanes. Jason Golder gets a breather, and so does Dave Myers. JV game tonight, relatively high scoring as well. Rutland won that 76-56. Kells into the forecourt for the Hurricanes left sideline. 3:20 remaining third quarter. Kells to the key to the line. On the bounce, left corner to Ryan McCarthy. Down the baseline, spins on Agnes, stops out to Eisner. Eisner into the lane, lays it up, no good. Rebound, Jimmy and Agnes. Jimmy looked down court and finally rifles it to Penny in the forecourt. Penny pulls it up, left sideline to Sin, lines up the three, and hits. Three-pointer for Jeff Sin. I believe he's got 3 of them in this ball game tonight. 64-43. The Raiders lead it by 19. With it as Kells spins into the lane, and we got an offensive foul on Jesse Kells. That's his first. 4th on the team.
Penny playing some good defense right now. That's 2 fouls. He's you know, you got me. I'm tongue-tied.
We talked about Rutland perhaps being rusty tonight. I think Andy's just a little bit on the rusty side tonight. And Agnes within the forecourt to Penny, back to an Agnes right sideline. Jimmy and Agnes looking inside against Eisner. Goes to the right baseline to Sin. His turnaround is good. Oh my, what a performance by the Raiders tonight. Rutland goes up 66-43. With it now is Kells. 2:22 left in the third quarter. Right sideline, Ryan McCarthy. Picked up by Jimmy and Agnes. On the bounce now to Duran. To the baseline, lays it up, no good. We get a foul against Ben Anderson, who just checked in a moment ago. Who are they going to call it? It's not on Anderson. It is on Barassa. Okay. First on Barassa, second on the team, a shooting foul. Duran will be at the line for 2, and Anderson quickly checked out, and Kyle Berquist is in now. Berquist is in with Barassa and Agnes, Sin, and Brian Penny.
Like you said, it's an impressive performance by the Raiders tonight after that 12-day break. Coach Thompson's got to be pleased with his guys. One similar situation that I see right now, something that it just came to my attention last year with John Stempeck and Luke Barron. Luke, the junior, would come in and the senior would sit down. Penny's been subbing in here, the junior, tonight for the senior a little bit, getting some experience with the starting 5. So
Durant hit the first, missed the second. The Raiders have the basketball, and Agnes is shot from the baseline, and the air ball comes down to McCarthy. The Raiders lead at 66-44 now. Ryan McCarthy with it to the right baseline, pumps up the jumper off the rim, no good. Rebound to Sin. Minute 54 left in the third quarter. Rutland has a 22-point lead. Jeff Sin to the key to the line. Underneath to Agnes, and Agnes to Berquist, and Berquist lost control, and the ball goes to Marino. Agnes probably should have taken the shot there. One pass too many. Right sideline is McCarthy with it. Ryan McCarthy for the Hartford Hurricanes. Now goes to Duran, right side of the lane, spins, fires up off the rim, no good. Rebound to Sin. Outlet now to Penny, has it knocked away. Penny got it back again. Throws it into the forecourt. Sin chases it down the left sideline. To the left baseline now to Agnes, out front to Penny. On the cut to Berquist, the short jumper's good. Boy, you talk about ball movement there, too. 68-44. Rutland with a lead. 1:09 left, third quarter. Kells in the key, 17-footer's good.
It's the first points for the Hurricanes off the bench tonight.
68-46. The Raiders with a lead. 57 seconds left in the third quarter. Jeff Sin with it halfway between the circles. Sin wanted to go to Agnes, chases it down at the sideline as it was deflected by McCarthy. To Barassa, back out to Penny, left sideline up for 3. Bang. Three-pointer for Brian Penny. And Rutland leads at 71-46. Marino with it. Marino finds an opening and lays it in as he went right down the lane. 71-48, Rutland high. 27 seconds left in the third quarter. Berquist pass intended for Sin. Knocked out of bounds by Marino. Nice hustle by Jeff Marino. As Jason Golder checks in for Hartford, McCarthy gets a breather. Checking in for Hartford now, Randy St. Peter. Randy St. Peter's in for Jeremy Duran. Anderson back in for Rutland High for Jimmy and Agnes. Barassa getting set to put the ball into play for the Raiders. Gets it into Kyle Berquist. Berquist to Penny. Penny tries to chase it down to the sideline. Can't save it. It goes out of bounds. And Hartford will control with 20 seconds left in the third quarter.
All the long passes we've seen here tonight, it reminds me of football season. 3 of the 4 Raider quarterbacks are on this team. The ball's going up and down the court like football.
Marino lost it to Sin as he steals. Sin down the middle on the bounce to Berquist. Berquist drives, running right-hander. It's good. Hit the back of the rim and fell through. 73-48 Raiders. 5 seconds left, third quarter. In the key, taking the jumper and getting the air ball is Kells as the Hurricanes try to save it. Can't do it at the buzzer, and that's the end of the third quarter. And after 3, our score, Rutland 73, Hartford 48. We'll be back after this 30-second time. 6:15 in the third quarter. The Raiders led by 14 at halftime, and by outscoring the Hurricanes by 11 in the quarter, the Raiders now lead it by 25 as we get set for the fourth quarter. It's Rutland 73 and Hartford 48. Rutland won the JV game 76-56.
We don't know much about the North teams, but this style of play that the Raiders are playing tonight, the run and gun style, it's good to see because now we know that they're not a one-dimensional type team. Their offense doesn't just have to be a set offense. They can push it and score and put the points on the board.
Within left sideline is McCarthy. He's back in for Hartford. McCarthy dribbles toward the middle and stops. Goes back to the left sideline to Golder. A shot deflected by Anderson. Comes down to Penny. Penny outlet to Luke Barron. Barron blows into the forecourt and the bounce back to Penny. Lines up the 3, goes back to Barron in the lane. His shot deflected by McCarthy. And poked back to McCarthy from Marino. McCarthy goes coast to coast, lays it up left-handed, no good. And he's whistled out for the offensive foul.
Good call right there. Penny did a great job hustling back. He beat him all the way down the court, and he got position. He was 3 steps ahead of him, no question. And he set his feet. That was an excellent defensive play right there by Brian Penny. That was a great call right there. Second on McCarthy. That's the 5th on Hartford in the half. Early going fourth quarter. Here's a steal by Eisner on the bounce to Marino, and Marino lost it out of bounds. Setting the alignment, Nathan Eisner, Ryan McCarthy, Jeff Marino, Jeremy Duran, and Jason Golder for Hartford. Mark Barassa, Luke Barron, Brian Penny, Kyle Berquist, and Ben Anderson for the Raiders. Here comes Barron. Lost it at the key. Scramble for the basketball along with Duran. They both have a jump ball situation. It is Hartford's possession. Or is it, whose possession will it be? It's Rutland's possession. I looked up. They must have changed that in a hurry. The arrows say Hartford.
Yeah, they have Rutland taking the ball out of bounds, but... Pass comes into Penny. From the baseline, his jumper's good off the glass. It's Rutland 75, Hartford 48. 7:08 remaining here in the ball game. Pass from Golder to Marino, lays it up, no good. Rebound goes to Barron. Outlet to Barassa. Now to Penny. Well, we'll have the Raiders and South Burlington. Should be a good matchup Thursday night. We'll be on the air at 7:20 with that one. Berquist goes to Anderson at the baseline. He lays it in. Rutland 77, Hartford 48. Golder right side of the circle. Golder looks left, goes right for Duran between the sideline and the middle. Duran back to Golder, and Golder dribbles to the middle. Top of the circle. On the right wing to Marino. Marino backs it up toward the sideline. Out front to McCarthy, up for 3. Around the rim, no good. Marino back up, and no good. Rebound, Berquist. Berquist now, his pass stolen away by Marino. Tried to go up with it, but it was out of bounds anyway off Marino. Hit the baseline, apparently.
Kicked it, I believe.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Barassa will put the ball into play in the backcourt. Gets it into Kyle Berquist. Ahead to Barron. Here they come again on the bounce to Anderson. He drives and lays it in. They have absolutely done no wrong tonight. Rutland 79, Hartford 48. 6:09 remaining in the ball game. And the jumper by Golder is good off the glass.
He called it. I heard him.
79-50. Raiders have the lead. Here's Barron left side of the circle. Out to Penny on the right to Barassa. Running right-handers. Good. Went right to the lane. Threw up the shot and hit. 81-50. It's Rutland by 31. 5:42 left in the ball game. Golder with it on the left sideline to McCarthy. To the left baseline. Pulls up for the jumper. It's short. Rebound McCarthy. Back up. In and out and back in again from the left side of the lane. Rutland 81, Hartford 52. Anderson with it in the backcourt to Penny. Penny throws it for Barron. Barron to the right side of the lane. Now to Anderson at the baseline. He drives and lays it in. And Anderson getting some points here in the fourth quarter. Rutland 83, Hartford 52. 5:12 left in the ball game. With it is Golder. Top of the circle. Throws up the bomb. It's an air ball. Comes down to Anderson. That might have been deflected. To Penny, right sideline. Pass knocked away. He wanted to go to Barassa. Knocked out of bounds by Golder. As John Barker and Mike Siebertson check in for Luke Barron. And also checking out, let's see, will be Brian Penny. Barassa also checks out.
That only leaves 4 on the court.
Yeah, I know it. Somebody else has got to come in. Or is Barassa just getting a drink of water?
We still need someone in the game here.
Or are they going to play with 4? Barassa stays in.
He's awful anxious.
He wanted that drink of water no matter what. And Barassa will throw the ball into play, and it goes off Siebertson, but he taps it back into the forecourt intended for Barker. It is picked off by Moriarty. He goes down to Marino. His jumper's no good. Rebound to Berquist. Moriarty checked in for Hartford. We'll get a whistle and a foul against Hartford in the rebounding action. Rashawn Patkill also checked in for Hartford during the last stoppage in play.
He's the one that received the foul.
And that foul is indeed on Patkill, as Andy mentioned, his second. And that is number 6 on the team. We've got a timeout on the floor. 4:49 left in the ball game. It's Rutland 83, Hartford 52.
This is for more information. Vermont National Bank, member FDIC.
Hartford going with Ryan Moriarty, Ryan McCarthy, also in there Jason Golder for Sean Patkill, and Jeff Marino. Raiders going with John Barker, Mark Barassa, Mike Siebertson, Ben Anderson, and Kyle Berquist as McCarthy knocks the ball out of bounds right underneath us here. You know, it's not a question of the Raiders clearing the bench. They have the big lead, 83-52. Everybody's played, and everybody's played a lot.
It'd be nice to see John Barker.
There's just nobody else to go to here.
John Barker's the only one without points here tonight.
Siebertson tried to lay it up. He was fouled as the shot went out of bounds. It was deflected by Patkill. Rashawn Patkill on the foul. That should be number 3 on Patkill.
Now they're over the limit.
Or are they going to call it on McCarthy? I guess it's on McCarthy. 2-1 instead of 2-3. That's 3 on McCarthy. Mike Siebertson will be out the line for 2. He was in the act of shooting. Shot by Mike is around the rim and in. He'll get another. Rutland 84, Hartford 52. Rutland will have its 7th win of the year. Second shot by Siebertson is short, no good. Rebound Berquist, but he lost it to Golder. Golder into the forecourt. Jason Golder pulls up left wing for the 3 and hits. 3-pointer for Jason Golder. It is Rutland 84, Hartford 55 now as the pass goes out of bounds. Patkill did not hit it, went out of bounds off the Raiders, so Hartford will control from the left sideline. Wholesale changes for Hartford. Randy St. Peter is in. Nathan Eisner is in. Dave Myers is in. Jeremy Durand is still in there. And Chris Winslow is into the ball game now. Winslow seeing his first action of the ball game. Hartford's basketball. And the pass picked off by Berquist. So Winslow immediately with a turnover. Berquist wanted to go to Siebertson. The ball knocked out of bounds by Eisner. So the Raiders will have the basketball. 4:18 left in the ball game. It's Rutland 84, Hartford 55. Raiders will pick up their 7th win, 1 away from qualifying for the postseason. They hope to do that on Thursday night against a tough South Burlington club. Anderson's jumper from the baseline is good. Rutland 86, Hartford 55. Down the middle, Winslow up for 3. He's got it. So Winslow a turnover and a 3-pointer since he checked in a few seconds ago. Rutland 86, Hartford 58. With it is Berquist right sideline. On the bounce to Barker. On the left wing to Barassa. Barassa on the bounce, back out to Berquist to the key to the line. Pumps up the 15-footer around the rim, no good. Tap by Anderson, no good. Rebound Barassa back up, no good. Rebound finally controlled by Jeremy Durand. Durand on the bounce into the forecourt to Randy St. Peter. Pulls up for the jumper and hits, but it won't count. He was traveling. Randy St. Peter in there right now for Hartford. Whistle down for the traveling violation. Raiders basketball in the backcourt. Some full court Hartford pressure. Pass comes into Berquist. Back to Barker. Barker into the forecourt. Parker between the sideline and the middle. Right side. Parker spins around out to Anderson. Anderson on the cut to Berquist. Turnaround in the lane, no good. Rebound to Myers of Hartford down the middle. Myers all the way to the lane, drives, lays it up, no good. Rebound to Barassa. Helter-skelter basketball. We got a foul on Jeremy Duran. Duran for 3. And more changes coming up for Hartford here.
That's his third.
Golder back in. Marino back in for Sean Packel back in. Ryan McCarthy back in. Ryan Moriarty is in there still. 3:17 left in the ball game. It's Rutland 86, Hartford 58. At the line will be Mark Barassa for a 1-1. Tomorrow night we have the high school hockey doubleheader. It's MSJ and Brattleboro in game 1. Rutland and Middlebury in game 2. Both games for you beginning at 5:20. Back here Thursday, Rutland and South Burlington. Looking forward to it. Barassa shot misses. Rebound to Marino. Marino into the forecourt for the Hurricanes. Now to Golder, up for 3, right sideline, no good. Anderson the rebound. Anderson outlet to Barassa. Barassa into the forward court. Chased by Patkel. Double team, they knock it away. Patkel knocked it away and out of bounds.
Ben Anderson's pacing the Raiders here at the fourth quarter. He's got 8 points, 10 in the game. So you mentioned earlier in the quarter that he ran off a few points. He's got 8 now here in the fourth quarter.
Raiders basketball, 3 minutes left in the ball game. Raiders lead at 86-58. Parker with it in the forecourt, midcourt circle. Up top now to Berquist on the left to Sievertson. His 17-footer is good. Rutland by 30. The Raiders lead at 88-58. Down the middle for Hartford. Golder looks right. Goes to Patkel, left baseline. Short jumper, he hits. Rutland 88, Hartford 60. Anderson with it. To Sievertson into the forecourt. Sievertson drives, lays it up, no good. Tapped up and good, but we got a whistle and a foul before that. Sievertson will be at the line for 2. And who'd they call that one on? They called it on Golder, his 3rd. Yep. Team over the limit now. Academic at this point. Sievertson at the line for 2 in the act of shooting for Rutland High. 2:32 left in the ball game. Shot by Mike is good. He'll get another. Rutland 89, Hartford 60.
Sievertson's had a nice game tonight. This is his 13th point.
Second shot by Sievertson is good, and the Raiders lead it by 30. 2 free throws for Mike Sievertson. The Raiders 90 and Hartford 60. Steal by Berquist. Here he comes. He lays it in. The Raiders 92, Hartford 60. Into the forecourt comes Ryan McCarthy. Throws up the 3. It's no good. Grazes off the rim. Barassa the rebound. Tied up by Patkel. Jump ball situation. And whose possession will it be? It'll be Hartford's basketball from the baseline. McCarthy getting set to put the ball into play. McCarthy loops it out now to Golder, up for 3. Bang. Rutland 92, Hartford 63. Pass comes into Berquist to Sievertson. Sievertson has trouble finding the handle. Goes to the floor. Picked off by Moriarty. He loses the basketball. Picks it up again and dribbles into the forecourt. Moriarty to the right sideline of McCarthy. Shot deflected by Sievertson. We get a foul on Mike Sievertson. 1:51 left in the ball game. Rutland 92, Hartford 63.
Sievertson's second foul. The Raiders never had a man getting foul trouble tonight. Penny had 3 fouls, but they were all relatively early. No one else got in any serious foul trouble. That's Sievertson's second foul. And Luke Barron's the only other guy with more than 1 foul for the Raiders.
McCarthy misses the first. He'll get another.
You mentioned Sievertson having a nice game tonight. You mentioned earlier that he had quite a few.
I'm sorry, he gets 2 more. He was fouled in the act of shooting a 3. Second shot misses. That's right. He was that was a 3-point attempt that he tried to throw up there. So he's missed the first 2. He's got another. When you're fouled in the act of shooting a 3, you get 3 free throws. Thanks to Drew White for pointing that out again to me. Misses the third. Missed all 3 as the rebound goes to Ben Anderson. Up to John Parker. Parker double team in the forecourt. Throws it too far for Sievertson. It goes out of bounds. I didn't realize that was a 3 when he shot it. Couldn't tell from here. Is back in Eisner, Kells, Winslow, Myers, and Duran for the Hartford Hurricanes. Duran might have been in there anyway. As they roll the ball into play, and it's picked up by Kells. To the left sideline of Winslow. Throws up the 3. It's no good. And the rebound is controlled by the Hurricanes. Eisner back to Winslow, throws up the three. It's no good. Myers the rebound. Back out to Kells, throws up the three and hits. They're firing him up. Three-pointer for Kells. 92-66. The Raiders with the lead. We're going to foul in the backcourt against the Hartford Hurricanes. Severson will be out the line for a 1-and-1. The foul is on Winslow. Minute 22 left in the ball game. The Raiders 92, Hartford 66.
The Raiders bench was kind of anxious. I think they were hoping these guys would get them over the 100-point mark for the first time this year.
Shot by Severson is good. Mike will get another. Rutland 93, Hartford 66. I believe the Raiders went over the 100-point mark last year, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. And then they did it a couple of years ago, that team from Long Island, a couple of years ago. Second shot by Severson is good. 94-66 Raiders. Drew, who's from Long Island, looks at me with that puzzled look. Kells up for three. It's no good. Rebound. Fought for. Still a scramble for the basketball. Into the Hartford backcourt. Kells picks it up and goes now to Myers. 1:05 left in the ball game. Myers back to Kells. On the left now to Winslow. Dribbles once to the left sideline. Back out to Kells up for three. It's short. And the rebound goes to Eisner. Drives. The lane lays it up. No good. Rebound fought for. Myers with it. And we got a foul against Rutland. I don't remember the name of that school from Long Island. I think they were here. They played an afternoon game a couple of years ago.
Calling that foul on Barker, I believe. That's his first. They've got 11 up there, but it's 12 that they're looking for.
At the line will be Dave Myers for two for Hartford. 51 seconds left in the ball game. Shot by Myers is no good. The Raiders lead at 94-66. Because I think when the Raiders went over 100 last year, everybody was scurrying around to see the last time they went over 100, and it was just the year before, or a couple of years before that. We got a lane violation against Hartford, so it'll be Raiders basketball. In the backcourt, Barassa getting set to put the ball into play. Gets it into John Barker. Barker throws it ahead now to Severson, still in the backcourt, throws it up to Anderson, to Kyle Berquist. Goes to the right sideline, back out to Severson. Severson dribbles around, loops it underneath for Barassa. He lays it up and in. Rutland 96, Hartford 66. 33 seconds left in the ball game. With it is Winslow up for three. Off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound, Berquist. Outlet for Severson goes out of bounds. 26 seconds left. Hartford will control in the forecourt. Dave Myers from the left sideline gets it into Kells, top of the circle. Kells caught for the double dribble. Well, if the Raiders want to reach 100,
got to do it in a hurry here.
They got to do it and get 4 points in 23 seconds. Barassa with it in the backcourt. Barassa gets the ball into play to Anderson, chases it down toward the sideline, throws it ahead to Barker, down to Berquist. He drives, lays it up, no good. Rebound, Severson back up and good, but it won't count. He was fouled in the rebounding action. Mike Severson will be at the line for a 1-and-1 with 16 seconds left in the ball game.
That one's on Eisner.
It is on Eisner, and that's Eisner's third personal foul.
Severson's 5 for 6 free throws here in the fourth quarter. I don't want to jinx him, but
Mike Severson looks and fires. He's got it. The Raiders go up 97-66. Mike Severson will get another. 16 seconds left in the ball game. Shot by Severson is good. The Raiders lead at 98-66. Pass comes up to Winslow to Kells. Kells, the long three from near midcourt. He hits just inside the midcourt circle. 98-69. Raiders. Here's Berquist now to Anderson, left sideline. Out to Severson. To Barassa, top of the circle. 1 second left. They're not going to do it. I don't think Coach Thompson wanted him to go for the 100. I'm not sure, but it looked like they were just not going to go for the shot.
They had plenty of opportunity.
And the ball game is over, and the Raiders have won it 98-69. That's your final score. Rutland High 98, Hartford 69. We'll be back to wrap it up after this 2-minute timeout. If you're